Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Bozard Ford studio for the St. Johns County show that's on in the morning. We have the governor signing a bill to change the name of the airport, the old Hastings High School, to become a First Coast Technical College campus. The clerk of courts is warning residents of property scams, and do Florida teams have an advantage with no state income tax? We'll get to all that and more, but first we want to thank Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine and beyond for over 75 years, Bozard offers award-winning service, unbeatable selection, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage restaurant right there on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and President's Award, Bozard Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and a better buying experience are just off I-95 and State Road 16. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out to Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, B&S Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. Support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. We really appreciate all of your love. Find us on YouTube and help us reach a goal of 1,000 subscribers. You can also find us on Rumble and follow us there. You can help us get more Starbursts for the studio. All the crew loves them by sending those Facebook stars. We love you guys, and we would love to share our Starbursts with you. Don't forget that our app is back in the Apple App Store.
Wait, I'm not sharing my Starburst. Was that in the read?
I added. I improved.
I'm not sharing Starburst.
That is fact check false. I have seen you share your Starburst so many times. You have offered them. Yeah. You're a giver at heart.
Yeah, but I'm running low.
You are. I know. That's why we need the Facebook stars. Hence the read. How you doing today, Troy?
Hey, it's Thursday. I had to think about that a little bit.
It is Thursday.
Yeah, it's a Thursday, so it's weekend eve.
Weekend eve. Did you avoid narrowly getting shot in the head in this hat?
That one's it was a close call.
Yeah.
So I think I walked under a tree that I thought was shorter than it was.
Yeah.
And it was,
whoopsie.
Kind of. Actually, it happens a lot with hats where if you pinch from here, because you're supposed to grab from here, but everyone always grabs from there. And if you pinch from there too much on an older hat, that's what happens.
Oh, all right.
So I would like to have a more exciting story than that. But
come on. Go with the gunshot story.
So we're not blaming Chili then?
We're not blaming the dog on that one. So
all right.
I'm not blaming the dog on that one.
Morning, Blake.
Morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Aiden, you doing all right?
Yeah, doing good.
What up, Aiden?
Aiden just kind of appears.
He's like the guy on in Men in Black with the two heads.
Mm-hmm.
Our producer has two heads now.
Yeah.
It's a new hat for Aiden today.
Yeah. What was the guy? It was the guy from Jackass that played that part.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Knoxville.
No, there you go.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville.
Yep.
Yeah, screaming from the outside. Aiden,
For
Knoxville.
sure. All right, I got to tell everybody on you, Blake, because you're talking trash about your adorable face. Mm-hmm. So if everyone thinks that that Blake is absolutely adorable, put a little kissy face emoji in the chat. He keeps talking trash about his face on our opening reel.
Every
time
it comes up, he goes,
my ugly face. My ugly face.
There's my face.
I know. Drop that kissy face emoji in the chat.
He doesn't realize it insults me too.
I know.
That's it.
It takes after you.
Half of that's me.
How very dare you insult your dad indirectly?
I have more of my mom in my face than you ever have, DeLam boy.
23 of those are mine.
No comment. I don't know your wife.
Yeah.
I know you.
Oh, he definitely looks more like his mom.
Yeah. All right.
That's why he's better looking than me.
Look at that compliment.
I have the Puerto Rican skin in me.
Everybody in my house has great skin.
Yeah, sure.
I know.
But
Isn't it annoying being the one white person in your house?
It sucks.
Mr. SPF 70 over here.
Yeah,
It's a real problem.
I use motor oil. It's like,
I know.
still I get burnt and peel.
I went sightseeing in Peru in a hoodie because it was cool in November. Still got sunburned.
Mm-hmm.
Like hat, everything. still had sunburns, like weird sunburns, because you're wearing clothes.
Yeah, and it's weird because like Rebecca and I were talking about this last night. My face actually holds a tan.
Yeah.
Nothing else on my body does. Like, I mean, pasty white, glow in the dark white.
The one time I was really, truly tan was when I was a dolphin trainer outside, 50, 60 hours a week. Like, you can't not be tan. But we had to wear, like, swim team bathing suits. So
you had that beautiful tan line.
Very, very tan everywhere except for, like, the no-no bits. And, glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Turn out the lights. And there was a bathing suit in the bed, and that was it.
Yeah, when I was tan, as a child, I was pretty dark. I mean, you know, before at 23, I got malignant melanoma, so it changed.
Yeah, so you were very
everything.
tan.
It changed everything.
I imagine.
But you know, when I was a lifeguard, I got really tan. But the problem is because I'm pasty white and I'm not supposed to be in the sun, it destroyed my eyes. So I ended up having to have eye surgery because of how much sun damage I had to my eyes.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I just was not meant to. Was meant to be an indoor person.
Indoor cat.
Yep.
Being pale in Florida is a problem.
Meant to be an indoor person.
Wide brim hats are our friends. Do we have a question of the day?
Question of the day. I'm not going to say it the way I asked it originally. Do you prefer soft serve ice cream or ice cream out of the tub, which is officially considered hard ice cream? So, which is it for you?
It's a loaded question on a Thursday.
Which is it for you? Soft or out of the tub?
Hard ice cream for me. Yeah. I'm going hard ice cream. I really love Publix Moose Tracks ice cream and fish food, Ben & Jerry's fish food ice cream. Yeah. And like, it's just not the same. Even at a store, it's not the same as when you get like the pint and you let it sit on your counter and soften just a little bit and then you eat it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So I'm Blake, ice cream for you. Which one, soft serve or
hard?
Out of the tub?
I'm going to say hard out of the tub.
Hard out of the
what
tub?
What flavor?
I'm going to go with the peaches and cream from like the yellow tub place. I'm not really sure what the name of it is.
Okay.
Yellow tub, is that Tillable? No, Bluebell?
It's the one with the cow on it.
That's Bluebell.
It's the Tennessee-based one.
Yeah, the Tennessee one.
Okay, Bluebell's Texas, I think.
Someone put it in the comments. I know which one you're talking about. In Mayfield.
Yeah, Mayfield. Yeah.
Mayfield. Right. That's it.
Nice.
Aiden, what about you? Soft serve or out of the tub?
Depends on the flavor. If it's a good flavor, hard ice cream. There you go. Not a good flavor, soft serve.
All right. So low quality ice cream at soft serve.
Yeah, you go to soft because you can't really screw it up. I actually understand that logic.
Well, you have to eat it so fast because it's soft serve. Like you don't have as much time on soft serve.
Yeah, because it's not as cold, obviously.
So you can't taste it as well. Yeah. So I get the logic.
Yeah, and I go back and forth. But if they have a good swirl, I love a sugar cone, and most soft serve ice cream, they won't serve it in a sugar cone.
Yeah.
So to me, the cone on an ice cream cone is more important to me than a lot of times the flavor because I like so many different flavors. But I'm more of a Rocky Road fish food, that kind of style. So I would probably lean towards also out of the tub. And it's mostly has to do with the cone, not so much with the ice cream.
So you're a sugar cone guy instead of like a waffle cone? No,
waffle cone's too much.
Yeah?
I can't eat that much ice cream.
Have you ever had fish food ice cream in a waffle cone?
Yeah, I have.
It's daggone good.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I like it in a sugar cone because I only need like they'll go to over scoop me. I'm like, no.
The ratio's off.
don't over scoop me. I got a beard. It ends up getting lost in there. It's not pretty. No one wants to see that. So I'm like, treat me like I'm 6 and I'm going to make a mess because that's what I'm going to do.
It's the only time you advocate underserving.
Underserving. No, there's certain after 2 drinks, I tell people to underserve me too. Yeah. Don't put that floater in. Nope. No. My recovery time's not what it used to be.
Yeah, you need to underserve on a sugar cone because it is mostly air, I feel like.
Not if they get it down in there. You do a little half scoop and get it down in there.
And then you get it in all the little nooks and crannies and you have that little bite at the end.
Yeah.
That's all I get that.
Kind of, you got to get a little starter
gotta pack it
down in there and then to put it on top. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last bite's usually pretty tasty.
Yeah. And what about milkshakes? Do you ever make milkshakes at home?
Mm-mm.
Oh man,
No,
those
we're
are
more likely to
those are
do
the
a
best
float.
milkshakes.
We're more likely to do a float,
Yeah.
like a root beer float or something like that.
Yeah, I'll get into milkshake mode and I'll make milkshakes for the house, and
Yeah.
those are the best milkshakes. So
We never were a big milkshake at home kind of family.
so, well, I have that little thing that just compacts down. And it's like its only, so it's all individual size.
So come to Troy Blevin's house if you want a good milkshake.
Like my milkshakes are pretty solid, right?
Yeah, 100%. They are very good, but except unfortunately for me, I had to be the first one because otherwise everyone else does chocolate.
Yeah, he's the only vanilla guy.
Yeah,
so.
That's true.
Every once in a while, one of the other ones will do vanilla, but Blake, it's actually a good thing for Blake. He gets his milkshake first.
That is nice.
Except he's done by the time the last person gets theirs.
So after shots, my kids like Wendy's Frosties.
Okay.
And that's probably the most often we get. Like that's the sort
that's
of
soft serve.
That's soft serve.
Yeah.
But that's like an after shots treat.
Okay. All right.
But now they have multiple flavors, and I don't know how I feel about that. A Frosty's chocolate to me, and that's just
it's what you dip your fries in.
Yeah.
So that's the only way to make those things edible.
But now they have all these weird flavors, and I mean, I tasted the vanilla because my daughter got it, and it's not right. It's not. It's a chocolate Frosty or nothing. All right. Now it's time.
I don't know what a blend jet is. Joy says she uses a blend jet.
A blend jet?
So I guess it's a blender.
Sounds high powered.
Yeah. All right.
I'm impressed by the name and the marketing.
No, it does. I was thinking now I'm going to have to look up what a blend. Damn it, Joy. That's probably going to cost me money.
We've said it so many times. Everyone's now going to get blend jet ads in your feed.
No one go look up blend jet until after the show.
Blend jet. Now it's time for a quick check of the weather.
It's going to be all right.
Quick check of the weather is brought to you by Bin 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Bin 39, tucked inside the St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street, with over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's a perfect spot for a romantic date night or relaxing after work unwind. Sit by the glass or the bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday. The wait's over, guys. It's Thursday. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Bin 39, your taste to discover. Buckle up, baby. It's the Hit the Blake's traffic report.
Traffic. Yeah, so traffic looks interesting out there today. We have a
pink cam.
We do have a pink camera. Looks like going southbound on I-95 past the 210 intersection. There is a car pulled over, and looks like AAA is helping them out. So please be careful on if you're on the right lane going southbound on I-95. Other than that, traffic looks very smooth out there today. So please be careful.
Not gonna lie, I love AAA.
Indeed.
Great service. Who's the greater than and equals to up there?
Lemieux.
Is that Wayne Gretzky?
That's Mario Lemieux is better than Wayne Gretzky.
All right.
I will not be taking any questions.
Because you're so wrong.
I'd like to say that's the worst sports take of all time I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's awful. That's awful. That just shows that your Pittsburgh loyalty gives you no reality.
Don't forget to give us those kissy face emojis in the comments because we got to make Blake feel better after that burn. Old Town Trolley. Climb aboard Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's historic hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and all local St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. So sign up today at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time. Sliding into the news. Everything that's old is new again. St. Augustine Airport takes back its old name. After more than a decade under a regional name, the airport in St. Augustine is officially returning to its roots. Formerly known as the Northeast Florida Regional Airport, the facility will once again be called St. Augustine Airport, following a bill signed this week by Governor Ron DeSantis. The name change was pushed by airport officials and lawmakers to reduce confusion among travelers, especially those flying charter or corporate. Interim Executive Director Courtney Pittman says the old name often misled passengers into thinking they were landing in Jacksonville.
Okay, I got a sign for you, and Bobby, you can help people out if they don't know what this is. That's the bull's head.
Bovine. Where is it?
Yeah.
Bovine feces.
Wait,
that's what we got.
Yeah. Come on, Courtney. Not true. That person that was confused was so hammered on that plane. Well, they would have been lost no matter where you took them.
Bear in mind, there's an actual desk at the main airport in Austria for guests who show up in shorts thinking that they were booking a flight to Australia to help them reconfigure their travel.
You can't fix stupid. So, you just can't fix stupid. It's like landing in LaGuardia going, oh, I'm not in New York City? Come on. No one's that dumb. If they're that dumb, they shouldn't be traveling. They should be locked up.
Remember, there's a safety speech at the beginning of every airline flight that explains how seatbelts work.
There's a little thing on plastic bags that tells you not to put it on your head.
I know.
Okay, I think all those things should go away, and it makes our community stronger, because if the dumbasses puts it over their head, they shouldn't be with us anyway.
Darwin Award winners?
Yes.
All right. Sliding back into the news, the bill to
I thought that was news.
The bill to restore the historic name, was sponsored by State Representative Kim Kendall, who represents the St. Augustine area. Although the airport currently does not offer commercial flights, it remains active to private and corporate air travel. The change comes as St. Johns County Airport Authority, the elected board overseeing the airport, faces scrutiny. An investigation is now underway into whether board members violated Florida's Sunshine Law, which requires all meetings between elected officials to be held in public. For now, travelers can expect a new old name greeting them when they touch down in St. Augustine Airport.
I never understood why they changed it in the first place. So I really didn't get that portion of it. So I'm glad it is St. Augustine, but don't give me the excuse. You know what they
I think the regional airport name was this idea of making it seem like it was a bigger deal than it was, and maybe they could court larger airlines to do commercial flights again if they had this like bigger sounding name. But I mean, it's St. Augustine Airport. In my mind, it never changed.
St. Augustine has a strong enough name; it could have carried it. I mean, I'm glad it's back, and thank you, Kim, for doing that. But it's a horrible reason why. You know.
The Gen Xer in you is like, don't coddle the idiots.
Yeah, don't coddle them at all.
Man.
I'm pretty much those Gen X like little shorts that they always give. I was like, yep, that's me. It's rare that they miss on me.
Fact check, true.
Yeah, so true.
So funny. All right. Old Hastings High School to soon become First Coast Technical College campus. Renovations are set to begin this summer on the historic Hastings High School after a unanimous vote this week by the St. Johns County School Board. The former school, originally built in 1924 and added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2006, will be reborn as a satellite campus of the First Coast Technical College, reopening in the fall of 2026. The project, funded by federal and local sources, includes a $1.5 million from the school district's capital fund. Renovations are expected to take about a year, with plans for workforce training programs and on-site early childhood education for student families. St. Johns County Board Chair Tony Coleman, a Hastings native and alumnus of the school, praised the effort to bring new life to the historic campus. Quote, having that building up and running says a lot. The architectural restoration will honor the school's Mediterranean revival design. Remarkably, the district has tracked down the original roof tile manufacturer, Ludowicki. I practiced it beforehand.
Yeah.
Ludowicki.
It didn't work.
No, it didn't. I should never practice. Still in business after 100 years and will use their tiles for an authentic rebuild. Community leaders are celebrating the project as part of Hastings' broader revival. Executive Director of Hastings Main Street, Sally O'Hara, called the community joyous in their anticipation, adding that the return of educational opportunities will also bring jobs, support local businesses, and fuel economic growth. Hastings, once a hub for agriculture, is now sowing seeds of opportunity once again. All right, we've got the Gas Buddy Gas Report.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to talk about that because I just want to make sure, and I got to find out more. And Tony's a great guy, just a wonderful guy. Like they said, he's a Hastings native, so it's perfect for him representing the school district in that area. But I just want to make sure that this doesn't include the gymnasium because that's where the community center is for the kids. So it's just the school portion of it. So I'll do a follow-up on that and make sure it's just the school portion of it. But we definitely need more tech. And congratulations for the school district doing this. This property's kind of sat there for a bit and just been a storage unit since they opened Southwood. So I'm excited that this is actually taking place in Hastings. And I think it'll benefit that side of the Hastings side, which is kind of once you get past like the city buildings, you don't really go into this far. So it'll kind of help build what they're trying to do in the Hastings revival. So.
I would say, especially with it being a satellite location for the Technical Institute, you've got older students there that can drive around. They can buy lunch at local businesses. They can traffic local businesses. So it will bring, economic growth in that area. I agree with that.
Well,
it's always cool.
It'll introduce a lot of people to that Hastings downtown, which is kind of what they're trying to do, and they're doing a really nice job with that. So,
and there's some great old buildings there, and I love that building is getting a refresh.
Yeah,
especially with the Ludowicki roof tiles. Very impressive.
Yeah, Rebecca's.
They have a very nice website.
I think Rebecca's still mad at me that I didn't buy the old potato. They had an exchange there, like where the potatoes were turned in for the money and stuff. And it's a really cool building there, and whoever has bought it, I hope you do an amazing job with that. So
there's a few buildings around that I wish that I had the funds to be able to do something cool with. All right, let's move into the Gas Buddy Gas Report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. We've got Gate at Mizell Road at $2.73. Circle K on 207 is $2.77. Sunoco on North Ponce de Leon Boulevard is $2.89. Shell on North Ponce de Leon Boulevard is at $2.93. Shell on King Street is $2.95. Gate on US 1 North is $2.98, while the Mobile and Circle K on South Ponce de Leon Boulevard are at $2.99. Owens at South Ponce is also $2.99, and so is Sunoco at South Ponce. Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard closes us out at $2.99 as well. That Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and the number, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. Moving into live music report today, we've got Jim Lamb at Milltop Tavern at noon. Lucy Spots at Bin 39 Wine Bar starting at 1. Zaza Flamenca La Cocina at the cellar upstairs, also 1 o'clock. Cliff Dorsey Piers Pub, 1 o'clock as well. Smoke and Joe Showers at Backyard Island Cafe at Meehan's at 3. Caleb Joy's at Marsh Creek Country Club at 4 p.m. Dewey Vias at Marina Munch, 5 o'clock. Denny Blues at Guy Harvey Resort, also 5. Chase Rideman Embassy Suites by Hilton, still in that 5 o'clock hour. Bill Sabo at O.C. White's Restaurant, still at 5. Vinny Jacobs, Hurricane Grill and Wings, also 5 o'clock. So is Trevor Compton at St. Augustine Shores Golf Club, closing us out in that 5 o'clock hour. Zaza Flamenca is at Fusion 904 Eatery at 5:30. Busy day for Zaza. Joshua Tennessee Worthies at St. Mary's Seafood and More at 5:30 as well. Colin Costco at Pescavillano by Michael Lugo's at 6 p.m. So is Darren Baker, Pierre's Pub, 6 p.m. And Baby Gray at Hilton St. Augustine Historic Bayfront. We got 2 more at 6 p.m. Bad Dog Mamas at Prohibition Kitchen and Palmetto Pickers at Plaza de la Constitucion. We've got Contact Buzz at Tradewinds Lounge, 9 p.m. and Cholula at Bar with No Name at 10 p.m. That music report is brought to you by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust Fidus Roofing and Construction, voted best in St. Augustine every year since 2012. As a GAF Master Elite contractor, Fidus installs the GAF Lifetime Roofing System and expert metal roofs built to withstand Florida's toughest weather. From emergency repairs to full replacements, plus pavers and gutters, Fidus delivers quality, durability, and energy savings with every job. For Fidus Roofing, call 904-355-ROOF. That's 904-355-7663. Fidus Roofing, where trust is built from the top down. Sliding back into news, warning of property fraud. St. Johns County Clerk pushes email alerts. The St. Johns County Clerk of Court is warning residents about a growing fraud scheme that's gaining traction across Florida in property fraud. Clerk of Court Brandon Patty, friend of the show, says FBI has labeled property fraud as one of the fastest growing white-collar crimes in the nation. The scam involves criminals filing forged documents or deeds with the clerk's office, sometimes transferring property ownership without the rightful owner ever knowing. We've seen horror stories, Patty says, where homeowners have had their property taken out from underneath them. To combat the threat, the clerk's office is urging residents to sign up for free property fraud email alerts. The system notifies users at any time a document is filed under their name or their business's name, much like a two-factor authentication. So far, nearly 30,000 residents have signed up since the alert system launched in 2018, including more than 2,300 new users this year alone. In one local case, a woman was unable to sell her St. Augustine home after someone forged her signature on a deed. That's terrifying. The clerk's office says if you receive an alert or a document you didn't file, they'll refer the case to law enforcement. While most of the fraud cases have been concentrated in South Florida, incidents have already been reported in St. Johns County.
It's definitely happened here.
To spread awareness, the clerk's office has released a new video PSA produced by students at George Washington University, Patty's alma mater. For more information or to sign up, visit stjohnsclerk.com. Definitely check that out. Definitely sign up.
Yeah, it happened just down the road here on Lewis Speedway. A friend of mine, actually, it's a weird story. Mm-hmm. It was kind of advertised and put out like on some social media. It wasn't on the MLS, and this person actually used my friend's image, and ironically, it was another friend of mine who was buying it.
Good gracious.
And it was a friend of mine who was doing the title work.
You got a lot of friends, Troy.
And the person doing the title work goes, Troy, this doesn't really feel right to me.
Yeah.
Can you look at this? And I was like, he's not selling that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him, because my friend had talked about, okay, when we're selling, I was like, that's not him. That's, you know, it is for sale now, by the way. But
all things resolved.
It is for sale now, but it was being sold for about 20% on the value.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was
because they're just trying to get anything.
It was a really nice piece of property. They were trying to get it closed and get it done really quickly. But they used his image, like his actual picture and everything, to make this work. And it was a third-party realtor. So, I mean, realtors out there, you have to be real cautious when someone brings something to you like this. Mm-hmm. You need to confirm that it is actually for sale, and especially if it's not a legitimate another agent that you're dealing with and some of those things, because so many people are so hungry to make sales, you know, because that's how they pay the bills.
Oh yeah.
You know, sometimes they don't do that extra follow-up, and it just so happens that, I mean, I called both of them. I was like, okay, what you're buying is not what you're buying, because I wasn't the agent on the buyer's side. And I was like, first off, you're not buying what you're buying. That's not real. And then I had to call the other guy and go, you know, someone's selling your, because it was at closing. Mm-hmm. It was almost closed. And luckily the title person called me and said, And I was like, no, that's not true. This isn't really happening.
Yeah.
So, and we were able to stop it. But I mean, it happens often, and it is here. It's not like just in South Florida. It's definitely here in St. Johns County.
And that's why a good title company is so important. You need
Yeah.
a title company that's really, really cares, knows the area, and will do their due diligence to protect both sides of the
No,
transaction.
because it would have screwed both guys, and because he would have been out of his money,
Mhm.
and on the buyer side, it's one of our sponsors. I can tell you. I mean, I won't say which
That's
one.
crazy.
We have amazing sponsors, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's that easy that you can get, because it looked like a great deal to him, and he's like, oh yeah, let's grab that.
Yeah.
And
Especially if
because
it's pennies
would
on
have
the
been
dollar.
it would have been an amazing deal. I mean,
Yeah.
and he's very savvy about real estate, and it's just because it looked so real. And if the old city did the title work, and if they hadn't called me, they would have been everybody would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy, dude.
so congratulations for them for catching it too.
Yeah.
So,
What would the liability for a title company be if they didn't catch it?
It would if they put title insurance on it. It would have been a little bit of a challenge, but but he did catch it before it got to that point. So
Good on them.
Yep.
All right. Moving in a little bit of a wider scope, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman rips TNT analyst Paul Bissonnette over a question about Florida's state taxes. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman is shutting down suggestions that Florida hockey teams have a competitive edge because of the state's lack of income tax. The pushback came after former NHL player and TNT analyst Paul Bissonnette questioned whether the Florida Panthers, fresh off their Eastern Conference Finals win, benefit from a tax advantage that attracts top players. Speaking before Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final between the Panthers and the Oilers, Bettman called the idea ridiculous. When the Florida teams weren't good, which was for about 17 years, nobody said anything about it, Bettman said. You didn't pick a team with a tax table in your hand. You wanted a good organization, a place to raise your kids, great teammates, a shot at winning. That's what motivates players, not a couple of percentage points. He also questioned the fairness of Bissonnette's argument. Are we supposed to subsidize high tax teams in LA or New York? That's not how the league works. Bissonnette, known for stirring the pot, first raised the issue on air saying, quote, "It's something we need to talk about. The no state income tax teams are getting a free pass here. It matters when guys are choosing where to sign," end quote. Fellow TNT analyst Anson Carter quickly pushed back, and Bettman echoed that stance. Still, Bissonnette took it in stride, posting on X, quote, "Get the people talking. Look at the engagement, throwing Gary softballs," end quote. The exchange has added a layer of off-ice drama to the Stanley Cup Final as the Panthers face off against the Edmonton Oilers. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's true. I mean, we don't have a state income tax. So, I mean, it does save these guys who are making millions and millions of dollars. But hockey's the only one.
Know to look for that?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100% they know to look for that.
All right.
And we're talking million. I mean, take $100 million contract in California and add 14% to it, because that's on top of your national income tax, and that's what you're paying.
Okay.
I mean, if you just do that math, I mean, that's.
But if you do the math,
that's $14 million.
if you're coming from Canada and it never occurred to you that not having income tax in your area,
if you're and Aiden wants to be a sports agent, if your agent doesn't let you know that,
okay,
then he's not doing his job. I was a consultant for, and this works for entertainers too. I was a consultant for an entertainer who he had a house in Florida and a house in New Jersey. He had New Jersey as his home, his actual home.
His home base.
I had him flip that, and it saved him $300,000. So if you have an agent that's not if you're not taking care of that, I'll take it all day.
I know. It's like trying to think how many years of my household income that would be.
Yeah. I mean, a prime example, like I can tell you the championships definitely have worked in Florida because the last 4 years in the Stanley Cup Finals, we've had a team from Florida. There's only 2 teams in Florida that's been in it, so it's kind of them being sour grapes.
Yeah.
And I don't think Canada, who has probably the highest taxes, I don't think they've won a Stanley Cup since the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, what's the last year a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup? I mean, there's a team in it right now from Canada, but I mean, their taxes. So it's kind of a little bit of bitterness towards Florida. But it hasn't worked for the Jaguars.
It has not
hasn't worked for the Dolphins.
Nope. Baseball.
It's
not working for MLB
the Marlins
teams.
stack a team and then they dump a team. So
it was 1993. It was the Montreal Canadiens beat the LA Kings.
Yeah, so Canada hasn't had somebody, so it's probably a little bit of just sour grapes.
But you would think with their amazing healthcare system that they would just be at the top of their game.
Oh yeah. See how that worked out for them. So, but I mean, it's a legitimate, a legitimate thing. Is Florida? It's cheaper to live in Florida. It's cheaper to live in Texas. I mean, there's some states that you kind of have that advantage. I mean, hell, even if you go Colorado Rockies to the Dodgers, there's still an income tax there, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
state income tax there.
Yeah.
So.
But
that is a factor in those decisions if their agent's treating them right.
Yeah.
But you always will still have like the players that want to play for like prestigious teams that might be in like high tax areas, like because we know in '96 Shaq left the Orlando Magic
because the endorsements that come with it. That's the benefit that you're going to make that money up on your endorsement side if you're in LA or if you're in New York City. I mean, the Yankees and the Mets and the Dodgers all have huge salaries.
Yeah.
Because they're big market cities, so that's how they compete. It's kind of the balance that goes with it.
Yeah, and like the only true big market you have in Florida is in Miami, but you only really have like 2 big spenders there, which is the Dolphins and the Heat. So you need to have like a good lucky owner who is a billionaire and who can spend money and invest in your team. Like sure, we have an advantage of having no state income tax, but you still got to put the money in the right places. It
still comes down to the management and the and playing on the field.
And coaches, the players.
Because I mean, Miami has they have a healthy salary that should be competitive, and they make the playoffs, but that's about it. They don't go to that next level. They haven't went to that next level yet this year. Probably not.
You guys still have Jalen Ramsey on your team. You're not going to win anything.
the worst human.
Well,
being
just thinking about the sports dynasties that have made headlines in the past couple of decades. I mean, the Yankees had a really crazy run there. The New England Patriots had a really crazy run where everyone was like, well, they have all the money, so of course they're just buying championships. They're also in very high tax states. So does that outweigh how much money they had? Like, it's a dumb argument.
Yeah, no, it's real. It exists.
Yes, money
doesn't equate to performance across all sports. You can't just pick out because the NHL, the commissioner of the NHL said, you didn't say anything when they sucked.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, in Tampa won 4 years ago. Florida won 3 years ago, lost in the finals 2 years ago, won last year, and now they're playing against, so it's not real.
It is
still
kind
gotta
of
play on the ice.
A funny sort of backhanded defense when the teams weren't good for 17 years, like he points out, for 17 whole years. Nobody said anything about the taxing structure.
Yeah, that is rough for the commissioner to say on public. Yeah, the 2 Florida teams sucked, and you guys didn't bring up state income tax.
Oh, man, it's such a backhanded defense.
Yeah. No, they know.
Yeah.
You know when your team sucks.
And
if
you
you're
know
a Jaguar
exactly
fan, you feel that pain. So, but this year they're going to be good.
It's our year.
Sure is.
I wish it was. I hope it is.
I do like Trevor. I mean, come on.
I hope so.
Travis Hunter better be good.
Yeah.
All right, Troy, how do you want to check those comments?
On this translucent Thursday, I will thoughtfully and thoroughly thrash through the Thor's Day commentary.
All right. That thoughtful thrashing is brought to you by BNS Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to BNS Signs, proudly family owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering and towering pylon signs, they specialize in high quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with BNS Signs. Visit bnssigns.com because when it comes to signs, they do it all. Also brought to you by St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds to barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building comes with free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options to fit your budget. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092. Visit St. Augustine Handy Houses, where quality meets convenience. Troy, give us that comments report.
All right. It seems like people prefer hard ice cream.
Yeah.
And as far as we got gas from all over the country. So we have locally, Tim, welcome back. We missed you yesterday. Wawa's at $2.73, Costco's at $2.69. Lewis Point is BP is at $2.71. Good price there. Iowa City is at $2.86, and in Spokane it is $3.79. All right. Also, some great comments. We will talk about FEMA tonight on Bollocks. Some people were trying to get us to engage in that one, but we got to save something for the afternoon.
I know. 2 shows, guys.
Yeah, we got to do it. So Quincy's soft serve. In the old days, the Quincy's days.
Okay.
I remember that.
Someone brought up Mr. Softy, and I think that they kind of ended their own career with that name.
Yeah.
It didn't survive past the 2000s era. The world was too fallen by that point.
Yeah, Mr. Softy twist with the rainbow sprinkles. Yeah, you got to have the sprinkles on the Mr. Softy.
I did see a lot of kissy face emojis for everyone letting Blake know that he's such a handsome young man. So if you don't like Blake talking trash about his appearance and you want to give him that love, give him that kissy face emoji in the comments. Let him know you think he's a good looking bloke.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome. What's a good work sister to do?
Yeah.
Got a Stoidum stat for us.
Stoidum stat. Okay, there's a lot of things we could have talked about today, and I'm sorry I'm taking this a little dark, but it was something that I felt like it was just a couple of years ago, but it was 9 years ago at Pulse nightclub where the shooter went in
such a tragic night.
and killed 49 individuals. Just horrific terrorist attack. And I didn't realize. I thought they shot him pretty much right away, and then when I did more reading, he actually was in there for 3 hours.
Yeah, he was in there for a long time.
And he had hostages, and he had people that were playing dead beside him, and that's how they survived. And then they finally blasted in and got him. But it was just what a horrific day. So I just wanted to remember those we lost on that day. Not focus on the terrorism side, but because I'm not going to give the I was going to say his name, but I'm not even going to justify saying his name out loud. So
what a dirtbag, man. He went. I know he went to Disney Springs and he cased that as a location for this act. He saw too much police presence. And that's why he had started out at nightclubs, went to Disney Springs, came back to the nightclub because there weren't as many police officers there. It's a horrible experience, and people are still healing from that. They have events each year. I have family in Orlando that attend. They have events each year and remembrance ceremonies, and I believe they have a walk that you can do to help raise money for victims and victims' families. So it's
yeah. I mean, and you just never know when something's going to happen like this. I mean, that's why you gotta leave your loved ones. Make sure you say. And in our house, we do a good job of telling people we love each other before we leave the house. So
yeah,
everybody work on that. So
always tell your family you love them. Make it weird. Say it a lot.
Make it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Tell your friends, especially for us dudes. Tell your friends. I love telling my friends they love you before we leave. And I'm a Gen Xer, so like that's really uncomfortable for my guys. Yeah, but I still lean into it.
I've noticed the younger generation, they say I love you to their friends more often than we ever did growing up. And I hear it I work with a lot of teenagers, and I hear it when they're saying goodbye, when they're getting off the phone, whatever. I mean, and I think it's important. Make sure people know how you feel about them. Don't save it for the eulogy.
Yeah.
That's Totem Stat, brought to you by St. Augie's Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right at the corner of Riberia and MLK. Get yourself a slice today. Got plugs, Troy?
Plugs tonight. We got Bollocks tonight. We're obviously going to talk about some of the stuff going on nationally. But for the second half of the show, we're going to focus on diners with counters, eating at counters, and how that came to be. Are you a bar person? Are you a person that's a sit-down person?
All right.
I'm a bar person. I'm a counter person. So.
Yeah, on date nights, we usually sit at the bar.
Yeah. So, and that how that kind of all came to be in the history of that.
All right.
Different changes that have taken place in those.
Nice. Do you have any plugs for us, Blake?
Definitely plugs. I'm going to say, have fun. Yay.
Still a little salty about that whole Wayne Gretzky thing. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble. Bollocks tonight. Bye, guys.
Bye.